Hello learners and welcome to our mathematics lesson. We are first going to go through our numbers, operations and relationships. We are going to read out the following number symbols: 45, 367, 278, 599, 750, 523, 678, 414, 134, 921, 1000. Now let's read out the following number names: 322, 62, 97, 102, 233. Let's do the following examples together. We are going to write the number symbols for the following. Number 1, 275, 124, 366, 890, 983, and the last one is 1000. Now if you look at page 6 in your work packs, it says write the number names for the following. We've got the following numbers, which are 672, 693, 607, 697, 660. So we are going to do the first one together, which is 672. If we write the number name for that, it will be 672. Let's go through describe, compare and order whole numbers. Say if the following is more than, we know more than is going to our right hand side, which we are counting forwards. Less than is going to our left hand side, which we are counting backwards. And equal to, which means are the two numbers the same? Will it equal the same? So number 1, it says 654. Is it more than or less than 767? What do you think? Yes, it is less than 767. Number 2, 534. Is it more than or less than 323? Yes, it is more than 323. Number 3, 750. Is it more than, less than or equal to 750? Yes, it is equal to. Now let's look at page 6 of our workpack. It says write the following symbols. Say if the number is more than, less than or equal to. We're going to do the first one, A, 670. Is it more than or less than or equal to 607? Yes, it is more than 607. Now learners, let's look at ordering numbers. So number 1 says put the following numbers in order from smallest to biggest. So there's the numbers there. It says the numbers are 789, 645, 176, 578, 498 and 267. Now remember, when we ordering the numbers in the correct order from smallest to biggest, we need to look at the smallest number first and identify that, and then we need to count forwards to the biggest number. So which is our smallest number here? Yes, 176 we are going to start with, and our next number will be 267. Yes, 498, 578, 645, and our last number is 789. Number 2 says put the following numbers in order from biggest to smallest. You are going to do the same thing over here. Only thing, we are going to start from the biggest number and we're going to count backwards to the smallest number. So there's the numbers 789, 78, 664, 134, 294. So which is our smallest number there? Yes, 78. And which is our biggest number there? Yes, 787. So we are going to start with our biggest number, which is 787, and then we're going to count backwards all the way to 78 because we already identified that 78 is our smallest number. Our next number will be 664, 294, 134, and our smallest number is 78. Now if you look at your work pack on page 6, it says put the following numbers in order. So I'm going to read the numbers out. Remember, the first column tells us smallest to biggest and the second column tells us biggest to smallest. So the first row, 751, 749, 732, 723, 712, and our second row is 650, 670, 643, 689, and our last number is 612. Okay learners, we are going to look at place value now. Let's recap on decomposing 3-digit numbers. Remember, when we are decomposing 3-digit numbers, we break them up into hundred, tens and units. So let's look at the first example. It says 675. What will our hundreds column be? Yes, 600. What will our tens column be? Yes, 70. And our units column will be 5. Good. Number 2, 598. We're going to do the same thing here, breaking them up into hundred, tens and units. So our hundreds will be 500, our tens will be 90, and our units will be 8. Number 3, 698. Our hundreds column will be 600. Our tens column will be 90 and our units column will be 8. Now we are going to look at page 7 in our work packs. It says decompose the following. We're going to go through the numbers quickly. 686, 690, 699, 673, 665. So we're going to do the first one. 686 will be, if we break them up into 100, tens and units, our hundreds will be 600 plus our tens will be 80 and plus our last number, which is our units, will be 6. We are going to be moving on to the breaking up method. Let's recap. We have to use our 3 steps. First step is to break up all our 110s in units, and our second step is to add them separately, and our last step is to add all the numbers together. So let's look at the first example. It says 485 plus 115. So we need to break the numbers up into 110s and units. So let's break up the numbers. The first one will be 400 plus 100 plus 80 plus 10, which is our tens column. And our last column is our units column, which will be 5 plus 5. Now if we add all of this separately, so we are going to add our hundreds column first, which is 400 plus 100 is 500, and then our tens column, which is 80 plus 10, will give us 90, and our last units column, 5 plus 5, is 10. So now we are going to add all of that together. 500 plus 90 plus 10 is 600. Now we are going to look at page 7 in our work packs, and we are going to look at our first example, which says number 1, 567 plus 455. We are going to do the same thing. We're going to break it up into the 3 steps, into our 110s in units. Then we are going to add it separately, and then we're going to get our final answer by adding everything together. So let's look at the first one. If we break them up, it will be 500 plus 400. Remember, this is addition, so the plus sign goes there. Plus our tens column, 60 plus 50, plus our units column, which is 7 plus 5. Now for our second step, remember we said we have to add them separately. So let's do that. 500 plus 400 is 900, and then our tens column, 60 plus 50 is 110, and our last one, which is our units column, 7 plus 5 is 12. Now if we add 900 plus 110 plus 12, it will give us 1022. Addition. Now we're going to look at the breaking up method for subtraction. So our sum there is 546 minus 223. Now remember, we need to break up this into 110s in units, and then that is our first step. Our second step is we need to minus our hundreds, minus our tens, and minus our units separately. And our last step is to add our 110s and units together. So let's break up our numbers now into 110s in units. So our first step will be 500 minus 200. Remember, the only thing that changes here is the sign in the brackets. We did addition, so the addition sign, we just added it in the brackets in the middle. Now all we're doing is taking that same sign and putting it here. Our tens will be 40 minus 20, and our units will be 6 minus 3. So if we work out the sum now, 500 minus 200 is 300, 40 minus 20 is 20, and 6 minus 3 is 3. So now we said that we need to add in the second step, remember, to get our final answer. 300 plus 20 plus 3 is equal to 323. Okay, learners, let's look at page 8 of our work pack. It says number 1, 567 minus 354. We are doing the same 3 steps like we did in the example. So let's break up these numbers into 110s in units, and if we do that, it will be 500 minus 300 plus 60 minus 50 plus 7 minus 4. And our second step, what we said we are going to do? Yes, we are going to minus 500 minus 300 will give us 200, and then 60 minus 50 is 10, and 7 minus 4 is 3. Now if we add all of those numbers up together, 200 plus 10 plus 3 will give us 213. Look at repeated addition now, and if you look at our table, we've got 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, and then we've got our multiplication sum, which is 5 times 9, and then our last column, we've got how many groups it is, 9 groups of 5. So remember, learners, where do we get the 9 from? Yes, we need to count all the 5s that's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's do the answers to this now. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 45. And 5 times 9 is 45. 9 groups of 5 is 45. Next one, 3 plus 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 3 equals to 30. Our multiplication sum will be 3 times 10 equals 30. And our last column, we are going to say 10 groups of 3 equals to 30. The next one, 2 plus 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 2 equals to 24. Our multiplication sum will be 2 times 12 equals to 24. And our last column there will be 12 groups of 2 equals to 24. Let's count in fours. 4 plus 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 4 will give us 36. Our multiplication sum will be 4 times 9 is 36. And our last column will be 9 groups of 4 equals to 36. Our last row, 10 plus 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 10 is 80. 10 times 8 equals to 80. And our last column, 8 groups of 10 is 80. Now let's look at page 8 of our work packs. It says repeated addition, complete the following table. 5 plus 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 5 is equal to 40. And our next column, our multiplication sum will be 5 times 8 is equal to 40. Where we got the 8 from? We counted all the 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And our last column, which tells us the groups, 8 groups of 5 equals to 40. Let's look at page 9 in our work pack, learners. It says double the following. Now when we say the word double, we mean add the same number again. So it will be 37 plus 37 will give us our answer. That's what it means. So let's do the first one. Double 37 is 74. Okay, learners, now we're going to look at the same page, page number 9 in our work packs. It says half the following. When we say half, we mean share between you and your friend. Give your friend half of 512. And then it also means divide 512 by 2. We can also say share 512 chocolates between two people. So when you look at half, it means share or divide. So let's do the first one together, 512. And if we half that, we will get 256. We are going to look at the same page, page 9 in our work packs. It says number bonds of 20. Remember, when we think number bonds of 20, what two numbers is added together to give us 20? So let's do the first one together. 9 plus what will give us 20? 9 plus 11 will give us 20. Now learners, let's look at our problem solving sums. We have our problem solving sum there, which says Lali bought 666 chocolates. She shared her chocolates with 7 of her friends. How many chocolates did each friend get? So what is this question asking of us? Yes, it is asking us to share 666 chocolates with 7 friends. So we know we need to write our sum first, 666 divided by 7. And now we know we need to show working, so we need to draw our 7 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, how are we going to share this? Yes, we are going to give 50 to each friend. So if we give 50 to each friend and we add all the 50s up, it gives us 350 that we gave altogether out of 666. Now we still have more to give. So can we give 20 to each friend and count in 20s? Yes. So let's give 20 to each friend. So now we gave 20 to each friend, and if we count that row and add them all up and count in 20s, we will get 140. So 350 plus 140 gives us 490. So we still have chocolates left to give. So can we give another 20 to each one? Yes, we can. So if you look on the screen, we've given 20 again to each friend, and we know that when we gave 20 the first time to each friend, we got a total of 140. So 490 plus 140 is 630. Now we still have chocolates left over to give, so we can't give in tens because there's 7 friends. Can we give in 5s? Yes, we can. So if we give each learner or each friend 5 chocolates, we're going to count in 5s. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus 5 is 20, plus 5 is 25, plus 5 is 30, plus 5 is 35. So we've given 35 in the last row. So 630 plus 35 will give us 665. So we have one remainder. So that one we cannot share it with any of the friends. So that's going to be the one that we have left over. So now let's check if each friend have an equal number of chocolates. So 50 plus 20 plus 20 plus 5 is 95. Let's see if our second friend has the same number as our first friend. 50 plus 20 plus 20 plus 5 is 95. So now let's look at our third friend and count all and see if we get the same number. Yes, we do. Our third friend got 95. So let's look at our fourth friend, fifth friend, sixth friend, and seventh friend if they have the same number. So now they all have the same number. So that means we shared our chocolates equally between 7 friends. Now remember, we need to write a number sentence. So our number sentence will be 666 divided by 7 is equal to 95 and remainder 1. Remember, we also need to write a statement. So our statement will be each friend will get 95 chocolates and there will be 1 chocolate remainder. Okay, learners, let's look at page 10 of our work packs. Now, remember we did our problem solving sum before and we had to share. So let's read if this problem solving sum is the same. Remember the instruction says, don't forget to write the answer as a number sentence and then the statement. So number 1 says Sammy has 550 new t-shirts, which he shared with 6 friends. How many t-shirts did each friend get? Now remember, we gotta ask ourselves, what is this problem solving sum asking us? Yes, it is asking us to share. So we're gonna use the same method as the previous slide where we shared 666 chocolates with 7 friends. Only thing here, we are going to share 550 new t-shirts with 6 friends because the question is asking us, they want to know how many shirts did each friend get. So remember, first we got to show our working. So we are going to draw our table with our 6 friends, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we're going to do the same thing like how we did before. Let's count in 50s and give each friend 50 50 50 50 50 50. So if we add that up, 50 plus 50 is 100, plus 50 is 150, plus 50 is 200, plus 50 is 250, plus 50 is 300. So now we need to share 250 more. So what do you think we're going to give next? How many shirts to each friend? Yes, we are going to give 40 to each friend. So now let's give 40 to each friend. And we're going to count in 40s. So if we add all the 40s up, it'll be 240 that we gave. Now if we add all of that up now, 300 plus 240 will give us 540. Now we have 10 more to share. So can we give 10 to each friend? No, we can't because we only have 10 to share. So let's give 1 to each friend. So now we've given 1 to each friend. But we needed to give 550. So now we give 546. So we have 4 left. Can we share that 4 with any of the friends? No, we can't. So we have 4 remainder. So now let's count how much each friend got, because we know we cannot share 4. So the first friend, if we count 50 plus 40 plus 1, will give us 91. Let's see if our second friend has the same. Yes, he does. 50 plus 40 plus 1 is 91. And now let's check if all our friends have the same number of t-shirts and if we shared equally. So we can see that each one, when we count 50 plus 40 plus 1 is equal to 91. And the last two has the same number. So we shared equally. Now remember we said right at the beginning, our instruction is to not forget to write a number sentence. So our number sentence will be 550 divided by 6 is equal to 91, remainder 4. We also need to write a statement. So our statement will be each friend will get 91 t-shirts and there will be 4 t-shirts remainder. Now learners, please do not forget to complete the rest of the problem solving sums on your own. Now learners, let's look at our next problem solving sum, which says Paul made 324 bottles of jam to sell at the flea market. His sister Sam gave him 225 bottles of pickles to sell as well. How many bottles did he sell altogether? Remember, we have to ask ourselves, what is this question asking us to do? What does it want from us now? This question wants us to add, yes, to add all the bottles together so we can find out how many bottles did Paul sell. What word tells us that we need to add? All together, yes. So let us use the breaking up method. Remember, when we're using the breaking up method, we need to use our 3 steps. So first we are going to write our sum, 324 plus 225, and then we are going to do our 3 steps. Remember, we said our first step is to break up 100, tens and units. We are going to break up both the numbers into 100, tens and units, and then we are going to add all the hundreds together, all the tens together, and all the units together. And then our last step is to add the 100, tens and units together to give us one final answer. So let's look at our first step. Our first step, we broke up the numbers now. 300 plus 200, which is in our hundreds column, and then our tens column, 20 plus 20, and our last column, which is units, 4 plus 5. Now our next step is to add 300 plus 200 plus 20 plus 20 plus 4 plus 5. So 300 plus 200 is 500, 20 plus 20 is 40, and 4 plus 5 is 9. Now our last step is to add 500 plus 40 plus 9, which will give us 549. Now remember, we need to write a number sentence. So our number sentence will be 324 plus 225 is equal to 549. And our statement will be Paul sold 549 bottles all together. Now learners, look at page 11 of your work packs. It says Jamie bought 300 books last year. This year she bought 350 books. How many books does Jamie have altogether? Wow, we can see in this story sum Jamie really loves to read books. She is a book collector. So what is this question asking of us? It is asking us to add and find out how many books does Jamie have altogether. The word altogether tells us that. So what is our first step if we use the breaking up method? Yes, we need to break up the numbers into 100, tens, and units. Remember, we have to write our sum, which is 300 plus 350. Now we have to break it up into 100, tens, and units. So our hundreds will be 300 plus 300 plus 0 plus 50 plus 0 plus 0, because we have two zeros there in the units column. So our next step is to add all our hundreds together, all our tens together, and all our units together. So 300 plus 300 is 600. 0 plus 50 is 50. And 0 plus 0 is 0. Remember, you have to show this step because we want to see your working out. And our last step is, yes, to add this row together. 600 plus 50 plus 0 equals to 650. Now remember, we have to write a number sentence. So what will our number sentence be? Yes, 300 plus 350 is equal to 650. And our statement will be, Jamie bought 650 books all together. That is a lot of books. Jamie is a bookworm. She loves to read. We need to learn from her too. Now, learners, you need to complete the rest of the problem solving sums on your own. And this brings us to the end of our mathematics lesson.